Hope your sound is on. 'Tis the season for fun and food, and I've got 5 new recipes to add to your holiday menu. And the best part, they're easy and all under $10. I'm gonna start with the cheapest one of all, potato pancake poppers. These are like little bitty potato pancakes. These will be great for Hanukkah, but also for any other holiday party. And the bulk of the recipe is 2 russet potatoes. I'm gonna start by peeling the 2 potatoes. Some of these require a little effort, but when you're saving this much money, it's how you can, throw down thrifty. I'm gonna grate these potatoes on a box grater. If you're doing a lot, you can use your shredder on your food processor, but this won't take long. To make it even easier and to save this step, you could buy pre-shredded potatoes in the refrigerated section. Add those to cold water. This is gonna remove some of the excess starch and keep them from turning brown. The hard part's done. Next, we are going to generously butter a mini muffin tin. You wanna be liberal with the butter here because it's gonna make these super rich and crispy. It's gonna be like the best part of the potato pancake. The outside, the crunchy part. You're not even gonna get that much of that soft inside potato. These are gonna be like little crunchy nuggets of goodness. Have you ever heard the words like too much butter? I don't think it's a thing. Our pan's ready to go. Now we're gonna mix up our potato mixture. I'm gonna kind of swish it around to get rid of that extra starch. Once you've rinsed and drained your potatoes, you're gonna put them into a dishcloth and get out all the excess moisture. No water. And we'll add our rinsed and dried potatoes to a bowl. To that, we'll add 1½ teaspoons of garlic powder, 1½ teaspoons of kosher salt, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, and a pinch of cayenne. Give that a little mix. Then stir in a tablespoon of olive oil and about a tablespoon of flour. That will help absorb any extra liquid. And then finally, a 1/2 cup of grated Parmesan. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Now we just divide that mixture among our muffin cups here. I like to get it all in there evenly, and then I'll go back and press them in a little bit. And these little potato pancake poppers are the perfect vessel for whatever you want to add on top. I'm just gonna keep it simple today with a little bit of sour cream and chives, but you could also do some cooked bacon, green onions, smoked salmon and dill. The possibilities are endless. These go into a 450-degree oven for about 40 minutes, so they're gonna be like super brown and crispy. The base of the perfect bite. The little crispy brown nuggets of goodness. Okay, you might say, that's not much to look at, but wait till we top them. They pop out so easily, way cheaper than tater tots, and to keep mine super easy and within budget, I'm just going with a simple topping of sour cream and chives because basically that's how I like my baked potato. You can add whatever your favorite loaded potato toppings are or make it fancy, do a little caviar, but then you're gonna go over the $10 budget. I'm putting my sour cream in a little Ziploc bag just to make it easier to pipe on. This is a great way to do this really fast and efficiently. Then just top it with some chives. You could also use green onions. This is really an easier, cheaper, less messy way to make little potato pancakes. Potato pancake poppers. Hope your sound is on. I probably added more than a pinch of cayenne because you can definitely taste it in the back, but I love that. A little bit spicy. The perfect bite. They're super addicting also, so you want to plan for at least a few per person. On to the next thing. What's a party without a cheese ball of some sort? I'm making a Mexican-inspired cheese ball that's not actually gonna be a ball at all. I'm gonna turn this into a cheese wreath. I'm gonna start by grating a block of Monterey Jack cheese, or you can get one that's already shredded. It doesn't have to be perfect because it's all going in a food processor. 1 block of cheese and 1 block of cream cheese, and that's gonna be our base. Might need a little help getting going. Once you get that going, we're gonna add in some chopped green onions and green chilies, and about 1/4 cup of cilantro. And then I'll add in about a 1/2 pack of taco seasoning. Perfect. We're gonna add this mixture to a bowl. This is gonna give us our circular wreath shape. Lightly grease the back of a spoon, and that's gonna help smooth it out. Just cover it and put it in the refrigerator for at least 3 to 4 hours. This is even better if you wanna do it the day before your party. We're about to turn our cheese into a wreath. Just remove it from the bowl. Once it's chilled, and carefully remove the plastic wrap. You can just spray the bottom of a small shot glass or glass with some cooking spray. Press down in the center. Then you can just kind of fix the shape. No special pans or tools needed. If you've got a special Christmas shaped pan like a tree or a candy cane, then this is the perfect recipe to use it in, but I think we did just fine. To finish it off, I'm gonna chop up the rest of that bunch of cilantro, super fine, and that's gonna be the green to our wreath. And then I'm gonna top it with just a little bit of homemade pico. This is literally like 1 Roma tomato, just a sliver of whatever onion remnant you have, and a jalapeno. This just makes me smile. I mean, I love this so much because I made it up, and I'm just like proud of myself for doing something this crafty, and it was the easiest thing ever. And I just love that the flavors are kind of reminiscent of a 7-layer dip. That might be my favorite thing all day. This is gonna be hard to top, I promise you. Forget the hot spinach and artichoke dip this year and make fried artichoke hearts. All you need for this are a couple cans of artichoke hearts and some pantry staples. I'm gonna serve this up with a little bit of lemon aioli, fancy word for some lemon mayonnaise. I'm gonna start by draining our artichoke hearts. You want to buy cans of whole artichoke hearts. And then we're gonna lay it out on some paper towels to be sure they're really dry. I am using the air fryer because pretty much everyone has one now, right? But if you don't, you can totally fry these up in a pan with some oil. I'm gonna create a batter by starting with a 1/2 cup of flour. To that, I'll add a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder and a little pinch of salt. Stir in about a 1/2 cup of water until you've got a thick batter. And then in our second shallow dish, we're gonna do some seasoned panko breadcrumbs. You can also do seasoned regular breadcrumbs. If you only have the plain breadcrumbs, then add some of your dried seasonings, some basil, oregano. This, is cheaper because it's already got it all mixed in for you. And I'm gonna add a little extra garlic powder and about a 1/2 teaspoon of paprika to help with the color. Mix it around. Okay, so we'll take our dried artichoke hearts, place them in the batter, and then coat them in the breadcrumbs, and then get them ready for the fryer. Because it is so hearty, you really only need 1 to 2 per person, so easy. And this step can totally be done in advance, even up to the day before. Before they go in the air fryer, I'm gonna spritz it with a little olive oil spray. If you're doing this in a pan, just shallow frying them in oil, you don't need to spray them ahead of time. We're gonna pop these in the air fryer at 375 for about 7 to 9 minutes. You wanna keep them in a single layer, so you might have to do it in batches, but that's okay. Now for the sauce, if you like the taste of garlic, start with 1 clove of garlic. If not, just leave it out. To that, we'll add 1/2 cup of mayonnaise, about a teaspoon of lemon zest, a couple teaspoons of lemon juice, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. Give it a mix. These are so crunchy. Hear that crunch? A little crunchy going in the creamy. Now that's good. This with a cold glass of white wine, perfection. This next appetizer might be the cutest one yet. I'm making pesto-pita Christmas trees, and these are just little trees of perfect bite. I'm starting with the inexpensive pita bread, just straight from the grocery store. I'm gonna pop it in the oven just to kind of freshen it up a bit. While that happens, I'm gonna mix together 2 ounces of cream cheese with some refrigerated pesto. Make sure your cream cheese is softened, and then we're just gonna mix the two together. If you're not on as much of a budget, you could use goat cheese in place of the cream cheese here. Next is we're gonna create some garland. I'm gonna cut this into little strips, and this is gonna be, like our garland or our string of lights on our tree. Easy enough. You can leave your little scraps, save those for salads or something else. Yes, just a little toasted on the outside, still soft on the inside. I'm going to spread our pesto mixture over the top. Let the pita cool a little bit before you add the pesto mixture. And then we're going to cut it into triangles. Now we're gonna arrange our red peppers onto the trees. Looking like a tree, but you gotta add the stem. So I'm going to poke a little hole down at the bottom of the pita, and then we're going to insert a pretzel stick. That's cute. And just for a finishing touch, because I like my Christmas trees with snow on them, I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of feta. You gotta admit, those are pretty cute, and you did not break the bank making this appetizer. That is cute. Merry Christmas. You know it's gonna be good and cheap when you start with a box of saltine crackers. I am whipping up a batch of Alabama firecrackers. This is going to be a salty, spicy treat that's gonna go great with a cold cocktail. I'm gonna split the recipe in half and do some as my party snack, and then do some with some oyster crackers as a gift. These are the same thing as saltine crackers, they're just in a different shape. We're gonna start by mixing up the seasoning mixture with 1 2/3 cups of vegetable oil, a teaspoon each of garlic powder and onion powder, half a teaspoon of black pepper, and 2 packets of ranch dressing mix. And finally, 3 tablespoons of crushed red pepper. Now that's a lot, but that's why these are called firecrackers. If you wanna keep this kid-friendly, you could just leave this out altogether, or if you just don't like spicy things, it's gonna be just as good. All right, so now I'm going to put my crackers in the bags and pour the mixture over, give it a toss, let it sit for an hour, toss it again, and let it go overnight. I'm not at all ashamed to serve Ritz crackers as a party appetizer. This would be great to add onto a charcuterie board or just to put out, like I said, with your pre-cocktails. Doesn't get much easier than that. I don't know, this might be my favorite one of the day. Talk about an inexpensive but delicious Christmas gift. They're really good on its own. A little cheese, maybe some olives. I'm telling you, this party is getting started. There you have it. This is the holiday spread of the year, and it will not break the bank. Better yet, you won't even break a sweat. These are so easy to make. Comment below and let me know which one you're gonna try this year. In the meantime, Merry Christmas. Are you ready for my next trick? For my next trick.